Hello, I'm DM Wisdom.
And I'm DM Zoff.
Today on the Agronac Studios, we take a look at Mörk Borg.
Let's get fucking to it!
Released in 2020, Mörk Borg is a self-professed, and might I say accurately professed, doom metal album of a game, a spiked flail to the face. Rules light, heavy everything else.
I don't even need to read it. This is the best fucking tabletop RPG ever.
Yeah, it's what many parents thought D&D was back in the 80s and 90s. But Mörk Borg is Swedish for Dark Fort, instead of Dungeons and Dragons, of course.
Nice. Man, this game really looks amazing. I mean, just look at that goat on the back.
Yep, pretty awesome. Even the pentagram right there, pretty great. The game's mechanic uses a very simple D20 plus modifier system where you need to meet or beat the number 12.
Wow, that is simple.
There are other thresholds for difficulties. Right here on page 26, difficulty ratings. So simple people laugh at you for failing, a 6. And all the way up to 18 should not be possible. Also, the DM or GM as the...
Wait, GM? I get the whole trademark thing, but this is an amazingly satanic-looking game. Like, they couldn't come up with a better name than GM?
Apparently not.
What about something simple like Doom Master? Then you could still abbreviate it as DM.
Yeah? Well, I don't know.
Okay, that's one strike against you, Mörk Borg, but everything else is still f***ing awesome.
However, the GM, or should we just say DM for Doom Master?
Yes, that's much better.
The DM does not roll for attacking the characters.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the players roll to see if they defend using their agility.
What's the difficulty for that?
It's typically 12, unless noted on the monster stat block.
Nice! Wait, why didn't they use all the tropes?
What do you mean?
Why didn't they make the difficulty 13, like evil number 13? They could have offset that by sliding the ability modifier 1 point to the positive.
That is a fair point.
That's 2 strikes against you, Mörk Borg. But this is still the best game ever!
Also, when there's a hit, you roll damage, and then the players whose characters hit rolls an armor die to reduce the damage taken.
I really like that.
So, like we saw over here, there's 4 ability scores. Agility, which is your defense, balance, swimming, fleeing. Presence, to be able to perceive, or like a perception check. Aim, charm, wield a power. Strength, you can crush, lift, strike, grapple, and toughness, resist poison, cold, heat, and survive falling. And the ability modifiers, you basically, you roll 3d6, and this is your chart that you're rolling on. So in the case of an 11 here, you'd have a 0 for your ability modifier. Let's try it again. Usually when you're rolling 3d6, you get, the median is usually 25% of the time you get a 10. So here's a 12, 16 right there. You get a +2. So you roll your abilities, and then you have your bonuses. And when you roll for an attack or anything, you're rolling your d20. And so in this case, we have a 9 plus that 2. It's 11. So yeah, pretty simple, straightforward system. Really not clunky or crunchy at all.
Nice!
Also, the aesthetic is awesome in setting the scene for landscape, the backstory, and traveling through an apocalyptic world of decay and mayhem. It's just amazing.
Read some of it.
The wind from the west, from the sundered land, rot rides it, and the stench of blood. Cursed walker, will you travel there? To the valley of the unfortunate undead. Our young ones are taken by the child thief Tergol. known for his vile crimes and alchemy of flesh.
Wisdom? That gives me dragon bumps.
Dragon bumps?
Yeah, dragon bumps.
I usually say goosebumps.
Are you a goose?
No.
Dumbass. Read some more.
The world dies even now. Reality decays. Truth becomes dream and dream truth. Cracks grow in the once stable structures of the past, allowing things to misshapen and vile to worm through, emerging into the day's wan light. The known world closes in, bounded to the west by the massive Bergen crypt, with its catacombs and ice-caked peaks, and surrounded by the endless sea to the north, south, and east. Many have plowed the waves' furrow in search of new lands. They all return against their will, alive or dead.
Go through some of this so that you can see big, huge fonts going from one page to the next.
Wow, I didn't really like pink before. I think I'm gonna change my mind.
That's a very artistic book.
Yeah, sure.
Here's a map of the area that you can adventure in, or should I say, survive.
Yeah, that would be better. Survive.
Here's a cool thing. The calendar of Narubal.
The world trembles. One can feel it in ways sharp and subtle, mysterious and clear. One by one, inevitable events demand their place.
Illustrating this, the game master rolls a die each dawn. A result of 1 activates one of the miseries. The die used is determined by the GM and the group. The GM then rolls D66 to determine which misery occurs. The same misery will not befall the world twice. So, use 2 6-sided dice. You roll those. 6 is what I got, and 1. So 6-1, Psalm 6-1. You shall know the last day is come. The sun shall be set and never rise. So that could be a kind of a seed for the adventure.
Yeah, just it's gonna be dark for never.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
I really like this.
Yeah, and each one adds different thing. Let's roll randomly. 2 and 2. And the ground pale with maggots. So maybe that's something. You have flavor of maggots all over.
You eat maggots?
I don't eat maggots, but the flavor of the thing rolled here.
Oh, okay.
So cool flavors and awesome. And then when everything is done here, it doesn't give you specific instructions, at least not that I recall seeing. But I would say that after all of this has come to pass, then you do the 7.7 one. So yeah, and that's pretty much the end at that point. The 7th misery will always be 7-7. And the world finally dies. The 7th seal is broken for the 7th and final time. The game and your lives end here. Burn the book. And I've heard that certain people actually have burned the book. So, pretty fucking awesome.
It is ridiculously awesome, especially since I'm a fire-breathing dragon.
I know. Creating your character here on page 19. Randomize your starting equipment, randomize your weapon and armor, roll your abilities, roll your hit points, name your character if you wish. It will not save you. The text here is just awesome everywhere. And I love, probably one of my favorite pictures is this one. I know it is it's a open source image, but what an amazing way to do all this and show these different weapons and what damage they do. etc. And then one whole area here for a femur that does D4 damage. So pretty fucking awesome. Equipment list, armor.
There's the abilities page again. Hit points. There's your heart. Rip the fuck out.
Yep, 0 hit points, broken, negative HP, you're dead. And this is basically, this is on one page, the combat system. Resting, reaction, morale, getting better. So this is about progress and gaining powers and whatnot. What the basilisks demand. D20. Let's roll real quick. 17. A child born with the third eye. Interpret that as you may. And that's what I love about this, is that you can interpret it however you wish. Broken bodies. Bad habit. What's your bad habit? Let's see what my bad habit is. That's a 4. Gambling addict. Must bet every day. If you lose, raise and bet again. That's definitely a bad habit. One way to go broke. Troubling tales. Roll a d20 or throw a knife at the page to the right. Let's roll a d20 since we don't have a knife handy. 8. Banished and disowned for unspecified deeds. You can never go home. Lots of tables that add flavor. Here's the optional classes right here. The Fanged Deserter, Gutterborn Scum, and many more. Cult Herb Master. And here's some monsters, some creatures. The Goblin, a Scum, a Berserker, a Wraith, Blood-Drenched Skeleton, so on and so forth. Just amazing stuff.
It is amazing stuff. There's a wyvern. It's only got 25 hit points.
Yeah, it's a low hit point system. It's short and to the point, and quite deadly from what I see. And then an actual adventure, the Rot Black Sludge, or the Shadow King's Lost Heir. A very well thought out and laid out adventure, and I really do wish all adventures were like this. Wizards of the Coast, hopefully they get a hint from all the OSR community and how they're doing adventures, because it's just off the charts good. The back leaves right here. How to do everything. Ability test, adventuring, powers and scrolls, combat, how to do all that, and then a quick index. Yeah. Amazing. Just simply amazing. If you haven't gotten this book, go and get this book. If nothing else, it's a beer and pretzels type of game.
Yeah, if you're just sitting around and you want to play a quick game, this is your game.
And if you die, especially with a beer and pretzels sort of attitude, it's not a big deal. And it's kind of tongue-in-cheek, but it's also got a lot more flavor than many of the role-playing games that are out there, especially for something that's OSR-esque. And yeah, so there you have it. Mörk Borg.
Zoth, are you crying?
No, well, maybe. This is the most beautiful game ever.
It's okay, buddy.
Can you help me roll up a character, please?
Yeah, let's get to it.
All right, do this and do that and do this and do that. And watch this video.